Lakers now 9.
Just sat down.
He just went on live TV and said something the entire NBA world has been waiting to hear from someone in his position. What he admitted about LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers was completely unexpected, and it changes the whole conversation. Now even Chris Broussard is saying that LeBron may never sacrifice his own style of play for the Lakers. So the big question is this: should the Lakers finally make a move and start building fully around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves? Share your honest opinion in the comments. The reason this moment is so surprising is because Broussard has never been known as a LeBron critic. He hasn't spent his career attacking LeBron's legacy or questioning his intentions. In fact, he's usually been one of the people defending him. Broussard has openly said he has connections with Clutch Sports Group, the agency that represents LeBron. Because of that, when he talks about LeBron, the tone is usually positive and supportive. He often gives LeBron the benefit of the doubt, and most viewers already understand that. That's why hearing this kind of statement from Broussard makes the situation feel even more significant.
You know it's bad when you got LeBron guys finally coming out here and saying the bloody truth, right? So, as you guys know, a good amount of people have accused LeBron of using these last 5-6 years to just kind of enhance his own legacy. Chase Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, hold on to 10-point scoring streaks, stat pad and all of that. People have said that, once LeBron realizes a team won't be any good in any given season, he just focuses on his stats.
So when Chris Broussard went on First Things First and clearly said that LeBron James will never sacrifice his style of play for the good of the Los Angeles Lakers, it wasn't just another random opinion. It was a major statement. This is someone who has spent years defending LeBron and protecting that exact narrative. So hearing him say it so directly, almost casually, like everyone already knew it was true, made the moment even more surprising. Let's look at the numbers he referenced. The Lakers are 9-2 in games where Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves both play without LeBron. But when all three players are on the floor together, the team is only 11-7. Those stats have been on the screen for weeks, and much of the sports media has tried to explain them away instead of saying the obvious. But Broussard addressed them directly. He said, "The numbers clearly show the Lakers are much better without LeBron." That's a powerful statement coming from someone who is usually very supportive of LeBron. But Broussard didn't stop there. He went even further, giving one of the most honest and detailed explanations yet about the Lakers situation with LeBron, something many mainstream media figures have avoided discussing all season. Chris Broussard explained that what the Los Angeles Lakers actually need from LeBron James now is a completely different role. He said the team needs LeBron to play more like Chris Bosh or Kevin Love did next to him in the past. In other words, not the LeBron who scores 30 points every night and leads the team in shot attempts. Not the version of LeBron who controls the ball on every important possession and runs the entire offense. Instead, the Lakers need him to become more of a complementary player, someone who sets screens, moves to the right spots, finishes plays when the ball comes to him, and allows the main offensive engine to operate without interference. Broussard pointed to history to explain this idea. When LeBron played for the Miami Heat, he was a main ball-dominant scorer, while Dwayne Wade was the second option. Because of that, Chris Bosh, who had been a 20-plus point scorer with the Toronto Raptors, had to change his game. Bosh reduced his scoring, adjusted his role, and sacrificed his personal numbers so the team could function better. That sacrifice helped the Heat win 2 championships. The same thing happened in Cleveland. When LeBron played with Kyrie Irving on the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kevin Love also had to change his game. His all-star level production dropped as he became more of a role player. The reason is simple. In basketball, only a few players in a lineup can have high usage and control the offense. When multiple stars share the floor, someone has to sacrifice touches and adjust their role for the team to work. The point Chris Broussard is making is a sharp one. With Luka Doncic now in the picture, the dynamic of the Los Angeles Lakers changes completely. Luka is the ball-dominant, high-usage primary scorer. Austin Reeves becomes the secondary scoring option. For the system to work the way it once did with the Miami Heat or the Cleveland Cavaliers, Broussard says LeBron James would need to take the kind of role that Chris Bosh and Kevin Love once accepted. That means becoming more of a support player, setting screens, finishing plays, lowering his shot attempts, and touching the ball less. In that role, he would focus on helping the system work rather than being the center of the offense. But Broussard then said something very direct. LeBron is probably never going to do that, not because he doesn't understand what the team needs. Broussard actually said LeBron is smart enough to see the numbers and understand the basketball logic behind it. The real issue is identity. For 22 years, LeBron has been the superstar, the main option, the player everything revolves around. You can't simply switch that off in one season just because the roster might benefit from it. Broussard even compared it to players like Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson. Once players reach that level of superstardom, accepting a smaller role becomes incredibly difficult, but it's not just about ego. It's about identity. Being the star affects everything. How you play, where you position yourself, what shots you take, and how the entire team operates around you. And for someone like LeBron, whose legacy has also been built on massive career numbers and historic milestones, voluntarily reducing those numbers would feel like shrinking the legacy he has spent more than 2 decades building. LeBron James has always been open about how much his numbers matter to him. This isn't something critics made up. At one point, he even wore a shirt that said, "Check my stats." Throughout his career, he has embraced scoring records, assist records, and all-time rankings as major parts of how he wants his legacy to be remembered. But chasing those records requires a few things: playing heavy minutes, taking a high number of shots, and continuing to collect the stats that fuel the comparisons people make about his career. That if his role were reduced, his numbers would drop. And if the numbers drop, his progress toward the statistical milestones he's chasing would slow down, according to Chris Broussard. That's where the real calculation comes in. If the Lakers are unlikely to win a championship anyway, which Broussard also suggested might be the case, then from LeBron's perspective, the focus may shift toward protecting his personal legacy. That means keeping the averages high, maintaining the production, and giving supporters strong numbers to point to if the season ends without a deep playoff run. Broussard also pointed out another important factor that goes beyond LeBron's individual decisions: the psychological effect his presence has on the rest of the roster. Chris Broussard also pointed out something deeper about the effect LeBron James has on a team. Even when LeBron tells his teammates to play their own game and be themselves, it's hard for them to fully do that while he's on the court. Players naturally defer to him, but it's not because they lack confidence. It's because LeBron's presence carries so much history and authority in the game that teammates instinctively look to him for direction. For example, Austin Reeves often defers to LeBron during possessions. Role players also adjust their positioning and decisions based on what LeBron is doing instead of strictly following the system. Most of the time, this isn't even a conscious choice. It's more like a gravitational pull. Everything naturally starts revolving around him. But when LeBron isn't on the floor, that gravitational center disappears. The team finds a clearer structure.